Oh my god. Okay. Let's try that. Don't know. I really don't know. Oh man. I tell you, this is gonna be awesome. I mean, I haven't streamed since December, so it's gonna be good. We're live, by the way. I just oh, what? I just heard somebody talk to me. Who is it? Oh, hey Hayes. Yeah, I left you a message in chat. I'll be streaming for the next hour. All right. Oh, okay. All right. I'm gonna mute TeamSpeak. So sound muted. Gotta love Duke Nukem. He's awesome. Okay. What?
I don't know.
Okay, well, we'll test that and see
Yeah,
if it...
Inebriator said there's no video. Is that live
Well,
yet?
it is... Well, the video is not live yet, but...
Okay. Just asking. I don't know.
Okay, they should be able to hear you now.
I don't know.
And
Can you hear me? Please? No?
what's
Good.
up, beautiful people?
If you can hear Karain,
Oh,
let us know.
you are
We're
so dead. You are so
Oh, I
dead.
did that
Oh.
again. Oops.
Okay.
Okay. That was Katina. I'm sorry, guys. I hadn't done that in so long. It was great.
You are cruising.
All right, here we go. Let's do this. All right, and 3, 2, 1. What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 62 of Let's Talk Landmark.
63.
Wow.
And man, wow, look at that.
Dude, you know what? I got a date for you with a bowl of milk and a cat.
And
Take care of that stuff. Lick that crap right off your face.
I swear, man.
Looks good, man. No, it looks good.
Oh my God, there's something on your face. Yeah, I warned you ahead of time on Twitter that I have a beard now, but by the time it's done, I'm gonna look like the guy from 300. I'm telling you, I'm gonna have it down like this, and I'm gonna start doing kicks. I'm gonna start practicing my kicks. It's gonna be great. Welcome everybody.
As long as you don't start twerking.
Welcome everybody
Oh,
to
yeah, right.
to Let's Talk Landmark, and right to my immediate that side is Geo, Landmark Explorer, and below we have Katina.
It's going to be one of those nights.
It's gonna be one of those shows, I'm telling you. So we had patch day. Today was patch day, and they finally gave us something, and they gave us something huge for the first time since 9 months,
Since Christ was a corporal.
something like that. A very freaking long time. So we finally got something, and
Tenma,
You and that
one kid
beard.
said you're going to have to name the beard.
I name it.
That's what he said?
How about Fufu? I
No.
can name it Fufu or something. I don't know. All right.
Cindy.
So we finally got a patch, and a freaking huge patch. Now this has been previously followed by total silence. Oh, there's big stuff coming. There's big stuff coming. You know, we got that over and over again, and it was one of those things where it just wasn't enough. You know, we wanted to see actual stuff, and we finally got it for about a half an hour.
We're working on it.
Working on it. Well, actually about an hour. It was probably about an hour before it actually came down. But we did get a crap ton of stuff. And do you have the patch notes up?
Yep.
Okay. And I still got you guys on that screen instead of that screen, so it doesn't look. I should have swapped.
So you got 6 screens now?
I got 3.
I thought you had 6.
No, 3.
When are you going to have 6?
I don't know.
He doesn't have enough room for 3.
Okay, so let's see if I can find my patch notes because I had them up. And...
I just put a link in the channel.
Okay, I got it. Okay, I'm going to quickly go through these because there's so many of them that I don't know if we can all fit them within an hour. So I'm going to burn through as much as I can, and then I'm going to kick it over to Geo. He's going to do some, and then Katinna's going to do some, and then we'll go into first impressions and all that kind of stuff. And I think the only 2 here on the panel that actually have seen it is me and Geo.
Yeah, I had to work.
So, okay, so bugs. There's tons of stuff in this update, as well as a good number of pesky bugs we know about. And we're sure you will find plenty more. Put them on the issue tracker. That's basically what they told us. Okay, skipping, moving forward. Welcome to our new world of Lumeria. Landmark has a clearer theme and direction for the launch to better reflect the creativity and brilliance of our players and their creations. Characters are now called luminaries, and the unit of imagination is called the lumen. Luminaries.
Interesting choice of words.
Just keep going.
Luminaries acquire inspiration in the form of lumens as they complete everyday activities and the Lumen Station can distill these into equipment, resources, and knowledge. Some other in-game terms are also changing for theme and clarity to new players. Unneeded, unnecessary. Oh, that was me. I'm sorry. But
Editor. He's playing editor now.
instead of calling them islands, we're going to call them landscapes.
So instead of get off my yard, it's going to be get off my landscape.
Why didn't we just call them yards? A lawn. Get off my lawn. You know, we could have done that. We could have called them lawns instead. Okay, moving on. Claims are now called build sites.
I like this. Seriously, I like these changes.
I
like
don't.
it. I do.
I don't.
But we never agree on anything anyway, so this is good.
I don't.
Exactly.
We're outnumbered.
And that's why we do a good show. All right. Instead of calling them build sites, they could have just called it site. A site. You know?
What's wrong with the claim?
I don't know. I didn't understand that either.
Build sites isn't as annoying as being called a luminarian.
I'm a Landmarkian. Bread and butter, man. Bread and butter. And water on the side. All
Keep
right.
reading.
Templates are not templates anymore. They're now called designs.
Again, I like that. Designs? It's good. It's good.
Yeah, okay. And voxels are not voxels anymore. They're blocks. I still don't get that either. I just don't. It was the reason why I am totally an opponent to these name changes is because they did it to us once before. They did.
Yes.
I
was
see.
Yes,
laughing
they
in the
did.
chat, sorry.
So I've seen the term I like that I hope that they will decide to use would be bloxels. I think they could seriously. I think they could trademark it. I think they could trademark it. I think they could trademark it. That's why I think they should use it. Wow. So who's above Holly Longdale? Is that who's the big cheese?
The big cheese.
Is it Russell? Russell
Yeah,
Shanks?
Russell Shanks.
Russell, get your team on bloxels. I think that word's available. Seriously, trademark that. Because that's what these are. They're bloxels. They're just sweet baby Jesus.
Well, they'll be renaming the game pretty soon. It'll be Bloxelmark. Okay, moving on.
Right on.
Under the cave systems or underground caverns are no longer underground caverns or caves. They're now called chaos caves.
Look, I so
Or
totally
chaos caverns.
want. You know what? I so totally want to go do Chaos Caverns. That is, yeah, man, that's fun.
I don't mind that.
I never got the
Wait.
chance to, you know,
Well,
before the
that's
server
you know
came
why?
down.
That's because you don't have 3 accounts. So I got to do Chaos Caverns today.
By
I got my
accident.
first. I got my first character in. Got my name. Got my second character in. Got my other name. Got my third character in, and poof! I literally, as my screen refreshes, I'm falling through the air, or empty space. Falling through the empty space. Boom! Almost die, and I'm in the middle of this big, gigantic cavern where there's nothing in it, and then over the next 7 minutes, there are like 30 people standing around me. Everyone's going, "What the hell?
Why am I here?
What's happening? What the frack's going on here?" So,
Okay. Well,
Anyway.
moving on.
but it was cool. It was a fun experience.
And achievements are no longer called achievements. They're now called goals.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing I didn't understand about this is you remember at the last wipe when they brung us in and we got the achievement system, we had a little thing off to the side which gave us a direction to go. You know, it kind of led you in a direction. Hey, you need to dig up such and such. Hey, you need to go over here and do this.
Mm-hmm.
It's not there.
Well, I have a recommendation. I think, well, I think the move from achievements to goals is a plus because it's a much smaller word and people can spell it. But I recommend they change goals to goats.
I like that. I like that. You knew I'd like that.
Have you done your goats today? Did you get your goat today? Did you finish your goat?
All right.
Can you help me with
Just
this?
don't ask him if he did his goat. Okay.
Now for the meaty stuff. New characters now have size sliders to change between small and large humans. The one thing I did notice when I started up the game, it was in a windowed mode. It wasn't a full screen mode. It was in windowed mode. And when I tried to move the bar, it wouldn't work correctly. And even trying to click the left and right, I wasn't able to click because it has that offset. It takes the pointer and it's actually offset like this, right? And the only way I could get it fixed was to hit Alt-Enter. You know, so it would.
Oh, sure, right, yeah.
So it would bring it up into full screen mode, and that was
Windows command.
Yeah, it was like finally up, and I could click the buttons, and everything would work fine. Fine. So, but yes, the initial pop up, which was the one big pop up in the very center when you first logged in, which was right up in your face, and you couldn't see anything except for that. So I closed the thing out. That's what 11's referring to, but it was in my way. Then I didn't know how to get it back up. So, moving on, new characters now select a starter outfit. And the one thing I did notice about the character creation, the weapons were like this up in the character's face. And when you're sitting there trying to get your character the way you want to, the weapons, especially if you had the pistols or one of the bigger weapons or something, it would cover part of the face, and you had to keep rotating your character.
You had to go like this.
Yeah, and the zoom in would zoom down to where, like, the top of the head would be like this on your screen, so it was still kind of hard to get face.
But if you chose the sword instead of the guns to get, you wouldn't have that problem.
It was still annoying.
I gotta have my guns.
And
So choose the sword first, pick your face, and then change your clothes.
it needs to be separated. It needs to be separated. You do character creation, you choose your outfit, and then it goes through a step. Like with step 1, create your facial. And then it goes to the next, select your outfit. And then it goes to the next stage, choose your weapon. And then it takes you into the game.
Yep.
That right there, a smoother transition between the 3 of them, and you don't have that problem anymore.
1,000 Stars is having a sex change.
Yeah, I read that first, and then I read his comment before it.
Wow. TMI, 1,000 stars. TMI.
Lovely.
All right, names that are tied to accounts haven't logged in since before our last wipe in 2015 will be unlocked and can be claimed again. So Geo actually is Geo now.
After 2
Devlin.
years.
I bet Devlin can get his name.
Well, I hope he's got to get logged in. So, but luckily we got the wipe. Maybe hopefully he can get connectivity tonight.
Yep. So that was a great thing right there. Note that as long as you've logged in on an account after the wipe, your previous name will be reserved for use on that account only. Now, if you make an account or make a new character and it is not the same name as what you had before, you lose it.
Yep.
That's basically how that works. Okay, moving on. Any Founders Pack items and any marketplace purchases you made during the beta will be granted to the first new character you create after the wipe, or refunded in lumens so you can purchase the items or an alternate item if you prefer. Go for it.
So what we don't have, unless I've missed it, we don't have conversion rate from Daybreak Cash to lumens. They haven't told us what one Daybreak Cash is worth in terms of lumens, because some have spent considerable amounts of Daybreak Cash, and we have no way to know if we've been compensated.
We might have that answer.
Okay.
Who was it?
But it's from anecdotal information, right?
It is anecdotal information. Atmospheric.
We need. I saw that tweet. I saw that tweet.
Did a basic conversion of it. It was something like 200 lumens or something like that.
For one Daybreak Cash?
For one Daybreak Cash.
A daybuck?
Yeah. Or something like that.
I hope, Terry, Domino, or maybe Dexella or somebody out there needs to... They need to give us what the conversion rate is going to be. I know they've said we're going to give you enough to cover what you spent, but the only way we can know, that there's not been an error in the system, a bug or whatever, because we're experiencing it now, is if they tell us what the conversion rate is, so we can go back and check our history of purchases. And
they won't do it. They're not going to release that information. I really doubt it.
A daybuck equals how many lumens? They should. They really should. And I know that they're trying to give us slightly more lumens than what they say. If one daybuck bought you one little pack of materials, they want to try and give you more lumens than one daybuck. So that
Atmospheric just said, I would guess between 100 to 200 lumens per $1 spent. It's tough to tell with game cards and gifts and cash spent on putting stuff on Player Studio.
Okay, that's per dollar, not per Daybreak money.
Which $1 is 10.
Yeah.
10 Daybreak or 100?
It's 100. It's 100.
100.
But still, that's. It's still, flaky, without having that actual number to do the conversions. Okay. Remember the tradable marketplace item. Remember that tradable marketplace items and lumens will be deleted if you delete your character. So we highly advise that you be sure you're happy with your character before confirmation of the character creation. New characters will be automatically granted a build site with priority on a pioneer landscape as long as there is any remaining space. Second priority places build sites in an underground cavern on a pioneer landscape. Okay.
So I took screenshots using the old screenshot keys, Control F12. They're nowhere to be seen, but there were like 30 or 40 people down there just standing around.
I have a question.
The autoclaim feature didn't work.
Didn't they say that the flat pioneer landscapes weren't going to have caverns?
No, they said they'll have.
That's what it does. It
They'll
does
have
say
they'll
that.
have underground claim areas. So once the surface is full on that Pioneer Island, then everybody starts filling up the underground spaces. But there's no Chaos Caverns on Pioneer Islands.
It's
Okay,
not,
so they have the space, but not the actual fighting cabinet.
or the collection areas, like
Yeah.
we had
Okay.
before, where you collect
Mm-hmm.
materials and stuff. All right, moving on. If you had claims in the world prior to the wipe, you will find that we have created designs, not templates, of the claims that were in the world when the servers came down. You'll find these in your designs window with a name that matches the name of the claim. And it has a whole bunch of other text that I'm not going to read. Next, it's very important to us that we ensure new players have a good experience starting the game. So a new series of goals will lead you through starting tutorials. And while this may not be necessary to our already experienced beta players, let me correct that. Did Gio's camera die?
Hmm?
I don't see Gio's camera.
He's there.
I don't see him.
I do.
He's gone.
He's actually frozen on my screen. There he goes.
That's what I was saying.
It's gone now.
Let me see if I can get him back.
He ran away.
Can't. Crap. Cancel. wrong person.
Wrong George.
Wrong George. Oops. Crap. How do I... Okay. How do I
There's
get
no
this-
answer.
How do I get this stupid thing to go back? Okay, there he is. I don't know how to get rid of that.
There it goes.
Yeah, there we go.
Once again, folks, remember it's a professional show here.
Let's see here. Yeah, we lost George.
Hmm.
I don't know. Well,
No, Delphina, Cat's not gone. It's just because he has the other crap going on. It messes it up.
Well, we're going to have to work with this here for a moment.
He hasn't texted me, so he must still be around.
Yeah, well, Cat's here. It's just that
Yeah, let's see. It's like
she's there,
I could see half of it.
but we lost Geo. So give me a second. See if George gets back up here. But till he comes back up, I'm going to keep
reading.
Keep reading.
Oh wow.
What I was
My
about...
eyes are Geo.
Huh? What?
On the screen, it's just my eyes.
Yes,
and Geo,
you're
so-
now Geo. It is very important to us that we ensure new players have a good experience starting the game, so a new series of goals will lead you through to starting tutorials. While this may not be necessary for our already experienced beta players, I'm telling you, beta or not, you're going to freaking need it, because some of the stuff that they've got in the game now, it gets confusing. And we'll be honest with you. You have, in the way it was before, you only had one mode, and that was go out there and do it. And now, to be able to switch in between adventuring mode and build mode, you got to click a button. It's up in the top of your screen. And in build mode, 1/3 of the bottom of your screen is going to be filled with a bunch of stuff. And I would advise to use that that tutorial, because yeah. Is he back yet?
No.
Great. All right, moving on. The world. The new Pioneer landscapes are flat, have no cavern networks beneath them, and cannot be claimed at this point except by the automatic process when a new player is created. So be sure when you want to leave before you pick up your Pioneer landscape build sites, because you won't be able to move back to the Pioneer landscapes. Uh-oh, what's this? What the heck is going on here? And I'm having problems. I'm just going to restart the call and we'll just go from that. What happened?
I totally booted. There was nothing I did. It just disappeared.
All right. Let's see if this happens.
What it did is it showed me the call trying to come in.
There we go.
Connected
He's
the
back.
last.
He's back. He's back.
My nephew rebooted the power supply that runs our network because it was beeping. There had been a little spike, so it goes.
Lovely.
High
It's like,
five.
But you know that other call that you made on accident? That's what rang through. As soon as that rang, it dropped me.
I accidentally called
Dave
George's.
Georgeson. I saw that.
I saw George click.
Yeah, but as soon as it rang through here, it dropped me from this call. It's your fault.
All right, moving on. There is a new teleport menu accessed directly from the UI. This replaces the need for the Stone of Recall and will offer you direct transportation options to home, friends, guildmates, and more. The classic landscapes have a new type of underground, the Chaos Caverns. These were these are short cave networks you can access via the teleport menu. Explore, adventure, and find lost crystals in the ruins within. The one thing I did notice about these cave systems, they are smaller than what we had before. Depth-wise. They're actually more compact, and they're only about what we used to have of like 2 levels. So they did heed the advice of getting rid of that. Great stuff. I think it was Thrashmachius that said, "Hey, why don't you get rid of this?" Wasn't it?
Thrasymachus.
Some of it.
It's Thrashmachius. I'm going to say it. I can't say his name. It's all good. So they took that advice and ran with it, which was good, because I honestly think that will help FPS and less load on the computer and having to freaking load all that underneath. The way the cave systems were, they looked a lot cleaner than what we had before, because a lot of the cave systems prior is you'd run into a place where it just looked like it dead end, but it didn't. You had to drill through the wall to actually get to the other side, and you could keep going. We had places like that, and the way the cave systems looked, just from the live stream, they looked a heck of a lot cleaner. Okay. What do you think, by the way?
Sorry, I was looking at the time Emily just posted again. They're just starting more testing.
As long as they're still testing, that's a good thing.
So I was preoccupied with that. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay, so next, a lost crystal should be found in each ruin in the Chaos Caverns, but you will only get rewards from the first one you find within a specific cave network. You'll have to teleport to a new adventure. Now, teleport to a new adventure, does that mean teleport to a new island? Or, excuse me, landscape?
I don't know how many caverns are on each landscape.
That needs clarity, sounds like.
Well, I think just get in the game and see how it works.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. All right, moving on. Resources and harvesting. Gio, you want to pick this one up?
Yes, sir. Dig the cool graphic, the cool I don't know, harvesting tool they've got there.
Yeah.
Replacement for the thingamabob. So with the changes of the world also come changes to harvestable resources. The changes to underground layers of the world mean mining resources are simply divided into surface and underground. And thank you so much for, they obviously paid attention to our feedback because we kept saying, God, I want those materials back on the surface. That was cool. Yep. So we got it. We got it. And rather than 5 layers of crap, now we get, well, what does it say? Yeah, it's just underground. So you get all the stuff underground instead of a bunch of different layers. You just find it all. On the surface, you get marble, amaranthine, copper, tin, agate, and sapphire. Underground, you'll find alabaster, obsidian, silver, iron, gold, ruby, emerald, and diamond. Plants are no longer harvested. A lot of people hated harvesting plants. I kind of enjoyed it. It was kind of cool. That hunt for that rare plant. But honestly,
I didn't mind it.
Yeah,
I didn't either.
I've talked to maybe 24 people over the last 2 days that said, yeah, that was totally freaking annoying. I hated doing that stuff.
What was it we used to have that we needed for
plastic
for rope?
Something? A jute.
Yeah, jute.
Way back when.
Jute. You got to go out there and jute hunt for like 80 hours.
Oh, lovely. So, let's see. Plants are no longer harvested. Okay, sickles are not used for anything. I hope we get them as placeable props. The sickles.
That'd be cool.
In fact, I'd love to get all those old tools and weapons that we've had over the past as placeable props. That would just be awesome. We need that. We've been asking for that forever. So now you'll get all the stuff you need for crafting. You will get from trees, tree fiber and tree sap. Replace, I think, in the recipe lists, those materials that you use plant goober boogers for.
Okay, carry on. Keep going. I'll save it till after we do the.
Okay. So we also made changes to what resources are free to build with. So now, I think they just responded to some requests by a large part of the community that they had made the materials thing too easy, and I was one of those loud voices. So I like that it sounds like the materials that you see on the surface of the world are free to build with, the regular dirt and stone and all that junk. But the custom materials made from those, you have to actually have the resource, which you'll get from actually doing harvesting across the surface of the world. That's reasonable. I like that. I like that a lot. I'm glad they went back to this because it's logical. It makes sense. So pretty much that's it. They want feedback, though. So if you find any exploits, find anything that's not working right, make sure you give them feedback on the forums. And don't forget about the dgcissuetracker.com. So that's an important site. Picks and axes now have different abilities, such as increased speed, damage, or resource bonus. This is cool. They showed one of these off on the show yesterday. The whirlwind pickaxe, or the whirlwind pick. That was neat. So he's harvesting along, and all of a sudden, he got himself some good.
I was very let down. I was very let down that they did nothing with the Trailblazers pickaxe. It's like a piece of crap now. Like a pure piece of crap now.
Well, so here's my theory, and my theory is they split the code base, like they said back in, I don't know what the hell was that, August maybe, and we had one version of the code that was in maintenance mode, and that's what we played, and another version of the code that they were doing all the development on, trying to make the EQN thing playable, fun, and make it work. So we're getting all those systems. So we're getting that now. So things that they had done during that period, like that cool being able to upgrade the pickaxe, I think they just got to figure out how to splice that code back in, because they got to do that. They really got to do that. There was one of the reasons for buying the damn Founders Packs. The nice ones, you get that cool pick. And then when you were able to upgrade that thing to be as good as the best regular pick. Mm-hmm. And then lastly here, there's also a new exciting range of harvesting tools powered by pulverizer technology. That was cool. He was digging up the dirt and then just went into a tree and, gave it the old one too. And it was cool.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
Yeah, and the Nova.
I want a chainsaw, buddy. I want a chainsaw.
You
I want
look
a
like
pulverizer that has a chainsaw blade.
Yeah. So, and you look for the Novatech Extractor series of tools at your local crafting station and give them a try. So it's cool stuff, guys. Cool stuff.
All right.
Build sites.
Build sites is all yours.
All right.
All right.
So,
sites. Go ahead. What?
Huh? Is it Katina? Are we talking to Kat or me? Huh?
You got something to say? You done? You good?
What?
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. I started talking. You started talking, so I shut up to let him talk.
Oh.
But then you shut up. So I don't know. Okay. Build sites, formerly known as claims. Hush, both of you. Build site upkeep remains the same as before this update. A brand new luminary on a brand new account will start with the build site that remains in the world for 7 days. The luminary needs to log in again before that time has passed in order to prevent his or her build site from expiring. We all know if they expire, they're removed from the world. You'll get your stuff in emails.
So basically, you have 7 days.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you saved up your 90 days prior.
No, please let me finish. You're wrong. Each unique day the character logs in after that will add an additional day to the time before a build site expires up to a maximum of 90 days. It used to be each 2 days, so now it's just every 1 day you get a day. So they made that a little easier. It says the forum post describing the original upkeep changes can be found at that link. It says luminaries who played before this update will maintain their previously accrued expiry time. It will not be reset. So if you currently had 90 days, you still have 90 days, Tenma.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Happy now?
I'll shut up.
You heard it here, folks. We shut them up for the moment.
She keeps me straight, guys. Carry on.
Build site size has been standardized. And we're using this update to test the new size of 525 by 525 by 450 voxels, blocks, yeah, whatever. Build sites can be sunk somewhat into the terrain and can be floated somewhat into the air for those who wish to claim a surface cavern or build an airship. So they didn't give us a perfect cube, which would have made sense.
I'm still
you
peed
can build
off
in a cavern.
I'm still peed off at the inability to expand upwards.
Yep.
I'm still kind of just teed off that I wasted all my money into getting the add-on claims just to have them all, just compact them all together.
Yeah,
I don't care nothing about these lumen things.
No, all these people, they have these tall builds, the statues,
Yeah.
your Colossus, almost everything Ogre Snot's built. It can't go back in the world. They made a comment, yeah, anything above the, the 450 will simply be cut off. That's a pretty crappy way to say it to folks. I'm sorry. I don't mean to complain about them. You all know I usually don't.
Well, I
But
think the Karen might be safe because it was 2 claims high.
Yeah, but this is less than 2 claims. 450 is less than 2 claims.
Yeah,
and again,
it won't fit then.
Yeah, again, I go back to they split the code base and they worked on this one set furiously for a vision for EQN that I think we're getting now. So I think it's just going to take them some time to make some tweaks and adjustments and give us the ability to put these tall things back in the game.
Yeah, well, they had feedback about this long before this update. They had a chance to change it, and they didn't. They've had feedback on this for a month.
For stuff like this, I think they should have took the approach to bring it to the public. I really do. I think that it should have been brought to the public.
And we mentioned it a month ago. What if they can't change a simple number from 450 to 525 or whatever in a month? Why not? There was huge outcry over it, and they didn't care.
Or at least go to the height of what we had before.
Original claim height before was 250, so it would have been 500.
Yeah, like at least a minimum of 2 claims height. Minimum.
But they must have had their reasons. I just wish they'd said something. Why?
If they've chopped it less than 2 claims, then yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Okay. You should start with as many available build sites as you had purchased base claims, either via founders packs or directly from the marketplace prior to the wipe. So say you had the full 8 before the wipe, you should have the 8 now. Should have, I don't know. After the update, you should always have more total space to build in than you had before the update. You should never lose building space. Well, any exceptions to this are unintended and should be reported.
Yeah, and make sure you let Emily know right away, and also post them on the bug tracker.
Because I think they mean if you have less than however many base claims you had. If you don't have them all, let them know. You can now, this is my favorite part. We asked for this for so long. You can now set the teleport arrival point on your site by moving the arrival point prop. Luminaries who visit your site will arrive where you place this prop. If the prop is not in an accessible location or has been removed, another random location will be chosen. You can find this prop in the scripting section of the props list.
And that was something that we talked about here on the show, and
many times,
and they actually gave it to us. It's great.
Yep.
Which is really good, especially once we get into the whole, creating your own world inside of your area. When people come to your claim, you give them that initial impression right off the get-go of what you want them to see when they get there.
Exactly.
That is perfect for that.
I can't wait.
You basically are going to teleport into a story. And then the stuff that the community has done in the past has been outstanding. I can just imagine what they're going to do with all this new stuff with the NPC stuff and whatnot.
Delphina, how do you find it? It says it's in the props list under the scripting section. So it must be where they've got all the monsters and whatever, I would imagine, if that's scripting.
What are you talking about?
Where to find this prop?
Or
arrival point.
It gets put down when you put down your claim.
No, it says it's in the scripting section of the prop list.
They showed it on the show yesterday, and when they put down the claim, it was in the corner. And remember, he sunk it down into the ground, and well, sadly, it was down under the ground too.
Okay. See, I didn't get to see all of it once again.
They said they were fixing it. I don't know. So we'll find out.
Okay.
All right. So I guess that brings us to the next one, which is gallery tags for listing your site in the gallery are now selected from present dropdowns rather than free form. We've created some initial lists that we think may be useful, but we'll be looking for your feedback on what these lists should contain as you test the update with us. Gallery entries now include a comments area where you can leave comments about the site.
Now, I've heard some people say that they were able to do that at 1106 TV said he was able to do that before. So
that was in the previous working on that prior. That's what it sounds like. Because that is web-based.
Yeah. All right. So I'm bummed that now people can't add geo as one of their tags.
You can now search for keywords. You can now search for keywords in the names of build sites in the gallery. Previously, only tags were searched.
Thank you.
Good.
That's awesome.
Good move. So just put me in the title of your build.
Now, okay.
I think if we just have them put brew in the title of the build, I think we'll get more. I don't know.
Just put beer.
Brew.
Put a beer. It'll be all right. All right. Build mode. We have a new build mode UI. This is accessed via the menu. Now, if you notice on the forums where they posted all the patch notes, they show the bar, but they don't show you how big it is. This bar takes up like 1/3 of your screen.
Height-wise?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's big.
Almost. It is big.
It is very big.
Now, so again, Tim and I disagree on things all the time, and I like what it does, but I'm not someone who spends the majority of their time building and creating. So you are, and so I would certainly listen to your advice there. If
A
it's
30
if
inch
it
screen
annoys
is a
you,
huge
it's a
amount of
lot.
real estate.
So it takes you from the regular 9 by 16 perspective to like this, and it's yeah, it. I think it's going to be an
It's
issue for a lot of people. But guys, just give your feedback on the forums. Give your feedback, and always be respectful and
that's just
positive.
it, Geo. This is why I saved these other three links here, because they came to us asking for our input for this
That's
specific
true.
thing,
That's true.
which is the mega palette.
Yep.
And everybody remembers that. If you've been around long enough, you remember that whole discussion about the mega palette. They wanted our input. They wanted us to give them our take on things, of what we were looking for and what we wanted. We did, and then it went silent for I don't know how long. We haven't heard anything out of Elemental Fiend in forever.
I don't even
So
know if he's still there.
the big question is, it looks like they took a lot of our stuff to heart when it comes down to the menu systems and stuff like that. What we were looking for, but we wanted something that was a little bit more modal. Something that we could, I don't know, push off to the side so it didn't interfere with our visual.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we were kind of expecting, or at least that's what I was expecting. Sorry to
Well,
exclude everybody else in the world, but that's what I was expecting, was a modal system. Something that I could click the side of my window and open up a menu system that would slide out, click, click. I got what I want. Get it out of the way. That's what I was after. That's what I wanted. Something that was quick. And I just don't see where that is there. Now, they've got a little up and down arrow in it, but like I said, I never got to fully test it out to find out what it could and couldn't do, if it could, drop to the bottom or whatnot.
well,
I
I
don't
got
know.
it. I put this in the category. They got a ton of stuff they were excited to get in our hands. They've been holding it back for a while till they made the decision on EQ Win. Made the decision. They've given us the stuff, but clearly they acknowledge they need to do a lot of work on their end between now and any kind of launch. So it's
Mm-hmm.
up to us to give them really constructive feedback. And I said this on the show earlier today and yesterday, that when you give design changes, post your stuff on the forums in the format of a design document. And Tenma knows how that's done. And anyone who's done software development or management knows how that's done. Design document's going to have screenshots, examples, descriptions of how stuff should work. And you put that up there. All Terry or whoever's running development over there has to do is just take that, and if they say, yeah, this is it, just give it to the developers and they make it happen.
Simplify it for yourself here. Go and take a screenshot. Take that screenshot, take it into Paint.
Yeah, well,
Cut,
exactly.
cut out the sections that you want to have, that you want to make comments on, and use the freaking text tool. Freaking type over top of it. This needs to be moved to here. And you can draw an arrow and, hey, move it to here, that sort of thing. And that's the easiest way to present your idea. An image is better than sitting there trying to type it out.
And like Federalist said, put why you think it should work that way.
Yep. Yep. Because without explaining why, it's not going to. They're going to be like, they'll blow you off.
And my thing with it taking up that much of your screen, Candela said it was 25% of it.
Yeah. Well,
I play on a
it's still a
27-inch
lot.
screen. I've got plenty of real estate to see it, but not everybody does. You put someone playing on a 19-inch screen here, they're not going to have much left to look at.
And they will
And you're
not be
talking
happy.
the height of these buildings, you won't see the whole thing like you could have before.
Yeah. All right, so let me move on with this. Build mode has 4 tabs, and I got to stop myself before I can even go further. The one thing I did notice is when you open up build mode, there is a delay, a very big delay, because it loads your templates, it loads all the templates they've put into the game, it loads all the prop assets for all the imagery for all the prop assets. I mean, it loads a lot of stuff, and it takes a little bit of a time, even on a machine that is pretty beefy.
Wow.
It will still have a delay time. Okay. At that, I'm going to move on. Build mode has 4 tabs, which can also be toggled between Shift 1, Shift 2, and Shift, let's see, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Excuse me. This tab shows all the building designs formerly called templates, and that is the first one, that you own, and can be filtered to show which can be placed with your current resources. The tooltips display more information, and for still more detail, right-click the design icon to open up the detail window of that design. You can also open the full design management list with the L key or by clicking on the house icon on this tab. Then we have props. This who wants to do props? Anybody?
Gio does.
I don't want to be the only person talking. So
We pitch in, doesn't matter.
So they said they've added a few new props. It sounds like they've probably added more than a few, and they've got a bunch that are currently in production that they hope to get to us with a really soon update of some kind after this. But the big thing here is they've changed the way they handle prop limits on claims, and you're no longer limited by individual type of prop. We can now limit the number of props per category. And they say we do not currently have a limit on most prop categories. So we'll see. This is going to be interesting. And the other thing that they added was the ability to tint and colorize the props, which I think is awesome. We saw that on the live stream they did.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
And they say you can select a whole area of props as a selection and change that. So some props still don't have that ability, but I think they'll be bringing it later. Like, remember Josh put down the table?
That was something we requested for materials.
Materials. But see, now materials are a different beast altogether.
It's a different beast, but at the same time, that would be freaking awesome.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to get that because they'd have to change the engine to be able to do that. It would be significant.
It's all about the data transfer on that, though.
Yeah.
Because you have to transfer the information of what has been changed on it.
Yeah, and by changing the tint of a voxel, you've actually got to change the voxel from one version of the voxel to another version of the voxel, which has a different number in the database. And then that happens, and then it's going to be pushed out to everybody. I don't know. It's doable, but there's a lot of engineering behind that. So,
pain.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, it's what they did with props seems really cool, and it sounds like we got a lot of stuff coming. I would guess, Tenma, Kat, and everybody out there, that Rosie and her team have made a lot of stuff for EQN that we may get at some point in time if it's not already coming in this and the subsequent update. So, my 2 cents. Right. Building next.
What was next on the list?
Building by Kat.
Sorry, I was working on a few issues in chat. Building. This tab contains the original building tools and shape blocks, as well as a list of available materials. The materials list can be filtered to show only materials you currently have resources to build with, or all materials. The far right panel of this tab will change to display options that apply to the tool currently selected. Well, that'd be nice. It can tell you right away if you got everything you need to build it before you start trying. Mm-hmm. That's cool. The building tools are no longer inventory items that need to be placed on a hotbar. Yay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. They're out of my inventory. They can still be accessed with a key press using the numbers 1 through 9. However, at this point, they cannot be rearranged in order. Please let us be able to rearrange them.
But if you notice on that one page, it's on the modal bar, or it's non-modal bar, the bar that's at the bottom. Mm-hmm. Right? It's like this.
Yep.
And that's what I work with. I'm a clicker. that means I've got to keep this. This is where I'm going to lose it, and I'm going to start talking like Tenma talks. Okay. I've got to keep this 1/3 to 1/4 of my screen covered while I'm building to be able to use my tools. I am not a hotkey person. I am not a hotkey. I'm a visual person. I have to see it and then click it, and that's me. Okay, that's how I play.
I sit there and press numbers without looking at it, and I know exactly what tool I'm pulling up.
But I don't want this big window up.
Well, I don't either.
Have you
but
seen
I want to press
Tenma?
the numbers I want to press.
Have you seen Tenma and I type? Seriously, we're both clickers.
Like this.
Well, we
That's
know
us.
you type, so we'll leave it at that.
Okay, man, what's happening?
Carry it on.
You've also changed the default key bindings for switching between modes and axes. Q equals translate. E equals rotate. R equals scale. Z equals change access.
Like I said, I'm not a hotkey person, and I got to be able to click it, but I don't want to have all that up.
Yeah, but before we used to hit tab and all that other stuff, and now we've got to figure out other keys for it.
Just not me.
Yeah, well, and
hopefully we can rebind them still.
No,
Okay.
you cannot rebind stuff right now.
That's
they've
what I heard.
They've locked down the UI. It's going to take one of their UI guys a little bit of time to set up their rebinding stuff. Remember, guys, they split the code base, and we're dealing with something that they were probably building for EQN. So, which is it's great. I'm glad we've got this. It's so epic. So, but there's going to be some. There's going to be a few.
I hope the
things
rebinding is one of their primary.
One of the priorities. Yeah,
but not even just for us, but left-handed people. They've got to move stuff to the other side of the keyboard.
And when that was brought up to them, they acknowledged it. So they're going to get to it ASAP.
What, Tenma? You're about to burst over there. Go ahead. Floor is yours.
There's not much I can say at this point. It's except for WTF. It took us forever to be able to get key bindings in the first time. Do y'all remember that? I don't know if y'all remember that or not. I remember that.
Oh yeah.
Everything was locked down. We couldn't change anything, and it was like that for months.
Yeah.
And then they were like, "Oh, you want? Oh, okay. Here, yeah. Let us work on that." And we finally got it. And then and that was because of the whole QE issue. You remember that, Gio?
Yep.
For our grappling hook, they changed it from one key to the other, and then everybody wanted it back on the other key. Yep. Then we finally got key binding.
And atmospheric, it's not that they said key binding is not a priority. They said rearranging the build tool keys is not the priority. They didn't talk about key binding itself.
Well, it's not about the changing what's currently there. It's me personally, it's just having a bar that's this freaking big when I'm freaking trying to build. That's my issue. Yeah.
I think maybe we need, you know how you can do Control F10 and you hit it once and it turns off the UI. You hit it again, nothing happens. Hit it the third time, the UI comes back on. That second one where nothing happens, I think maybe they should program an optional UI right there for the builder mode where stuff has been laid out the way that you presented in a beautiful design document you posted on the forums about a year ago or maybe 10 months ago.
Yeah, it was totally open and everything was all to the side. All you had to do was click, it would come out. You got what you needed, you clicked it, and it went back. It was. Yeah. That's what I'm looking for when it comes down to build mode.
All right. Well, everybody out there watching, and you guys too, if you had two most important hot issues that need to be addressed before the game goes live, what are they?
UI.
UI's one. That's my number one.
Major.
Honestly, I want to say UI, but I think at this point, let's step back and think about this. New player wise, are they going to get all this? Are they going to understand it? We might be able to. We might be able to figure it out. But will the new player?
Yeah, and
are they going to get confused and not know what the hell I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing right now. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Keep your
be working.
Keep your comments coming in chat. I'm seeing a lot of people saying the LOD, a lot saying the UI, and a couple have mentioned the chat window still having issues. Yeah,
I like that one. I like that one right there.
Yeah, so
I like that.
Which one?
It says UI, LOD, and wildlife. Thank you for somebody else that also agrees on that.
Elwin.
Tenma still wants goats and bunnies.
I want bunnies so I can bash their brains in. I want to see raccoons and possums and deer and all that little stuff to make that world come to life. I want to be able to look out at the mountains and they look like mountains, not melted crayons. That's me. If you want to immerse people into this new world, it has to look like a freaking world.
So LK just brought up occlusion, and that's I hope that makes it our way. If they bring us occlusion, I think they'll be able to improve the LOD dramatically. Yeah. Thanks everybody for giving us your comments there. This is important because the comments show up in the video, and even when it goes up to YouTube, they'll be able to see it still.
And I mean, you guys are as much a part of this show as we are. So
absolutely.
You know, that chat that's going on the side over there, that's you guys. I mean,
and now that
put your feedback in there.
And now that Twitch has the feature where it records the chat. So when you come back and watch this thing on Twitch, YouTube, that does not carry over to YouTube. So clearly, I mean, we keep this in the chat window here. So when these things do go up to YouTube, you still got that data. What's next on the list?
Tweak mode changes.
I guess that mine?
Sure.
Okay. Now, tweak mode. Tweak mode applies to templates, props, and build tools that we've made some changes to make this behave more consistently and be easier for new players to find. You will now see a green button at the top of the build mode UI that switches between tweak mode and freeform placement mode. Designs and pasted volumes default to starting in tweak mode. Everything else defaults to starting in freeform placement mode. Toggle between tweak mode and freeform placement mode with the T key or by using the UI button. See me? It'd be the UI button because I'm a clicker.
Yeah.
Your poor mouse.
I beat mouse is silly. Oh yeah, by the way, my
new one,
my 500 is dead.
Well, that lasted a long time though.
It did. It lasted almost 2 years.
What'd you get?
No, I went back to my old Logitech that seems to still want to work. All right, so carrying on. I'll do this next one too because it's short. Build settings. The small cog icon at the top right of the build mode UI allows you to access the advanced settings. This is where you can choose to display or hide trigger areas, set your preferred field of view number, and set or clear the time of day on your site. This is something that we were ecstatic about getting, and that's changing the time of day on your claim. You remember, I can remember back in the days where when it turned night, everybody broke out torches and stuck them all over everywhere so they could be able to see when they build. And it got better because then we got the little orbs.
Mm-hmm.
And the orbs would shine through everything. There was no occlusion at all.
Yep.
And then they killed our orbs.
Oh, they made them ugly.
And made them ugly.
To improve the frame, to reduce the collision. To reduce the collision.
And now we don't have to worry about any of that. Because now we have time of day on our claims, which is freaking awesome. All right. And this takes us to camera modes.
Ooh, lovely.
Geo's favorite thing.
Go, Geo.
All right, so there's the streaking camera mode where you can run naked and not let anybody see you. So we'll call this the Tenma mode. at the right top of the screen, you'll notice new camera controls. I love this. We got a whole thing of camera controls, as well as buttons to toggle grid mode, build mode, on and off. Different camera types can also be accessed during using F1 through F4. Now, these camera modes, folks, are just for building. So it's when you have build perm somewhere, then you can use all these cool new fancy modes. When you are off the claim or anywhere else out in the world where you don't have build perms or just in the open world, it's just the regular first person and third person zooming in and out. It's just like it's always been. But so for making movies and doing all that filming stuff, when you're on a claim that's got the build mode, it gives you a lot of options. You can go into the Tenma mode, that's secret, you can't see me.
I'm in the cracks.
I like that. And then there's the ability to go into orbit mode, and that's where you place down a center point that your camera can orbit around as you pan the camera. Mm-hmm. And lots of really cool stuff here. Get in the game, play with these. They are fantastic. It'll allow you.
I didn't get to play with it, man. I was so. I was like, all right, I can play with things now. But I was trying to get the guild back together, and then I didn't get chance.
There's the fly cam also, and that fly cam, you can move that sucker into the little nooks and crannies where you're trying to build something that you can't get your character in there to see. So this is a huge improvement. And for filming, this is awesome. You can place the camera in little places that a player wouldn't have to, couldn't stand in. It's gonna be fun stuff.
Awesome.
Starter designs next, Kat.
The old starter home templates, now known as building designs, have been removed and replaced by a set of modular castle sections designed by Ginsan. You'll start with a handful of these and learn more through achievements. Achievements? They mean goals? Until you have a full set of modular castle pieces you can mix and match to create a unique castle layout of your own. We hope this will be a friendly introduction to learning to build, and we look forward to your feedback.
No, they meant achievements.
Yes. The old starter designs, circles, lines, etc., are no longer granted to new characters by default, but can still be crafted at the replicator if desired.
Oh, there's something I want to throw out there. Lady Kathleen is looking for copies of those starter templates.
I still have them.
If you still have them, send them to Lady Kathleen. She wants them. She is our museum person. She keeps all the history.
I saw them Saturday. I still have them all.
So, awesome.
But you still have them now.
Yeah, you kept your templates.
Yes, but you didn't keep the starter templates unless you had saved a copy of them somewhere.
Yep. Oh, 11 says they're on the replicator. Sweet Christmas.
Okay, cool.
Well, there you go.
Right. All right.
Sweet.
Okay.
But yeah, Lady Kathleen was looking for those. I didn't see her screaming that she wanted them. So I just figured I'd call that out and see what happened. All right. Next is things to collect and earn. As a Landmarkian, you start with a section of props and creatures you can use on your site. As you travel the world harvesting, earning goals, achievements, or fighting enemies, you unlock recipes for more props, equipment, and creatures.
It's not worth it, Gio.
Do it. Do it.
No, he's just laughing at you every time you change a word to the old one.
Yeah.
It's going to stick with me because once it's there for me.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't change. I still call the blue stuff cobalt. Okay.
So all right. Well, okay. All right. All right. That's a fair call.
Druidium.
Never mind.
And I do not call that green crap druidium. Okay.
And you know
It's
what we call
still tungsten to me.
And you know what we call that furry crap?
That furry crap.
That stuff on your face? Now that's
Yes.
change. Don't tell me you can't change. Look at you.
All right. Moving on. Achievements. Formerly known as goals. We've revised the list of goals in your journal, and there are now more to do. As I said, it never popped up on my screen off to the side. I'm not sure if that was a oops or a bug or something. I don't know, but for some reason I never saw it. All right.
Okay, going to interrupt you.
Okay.
Tweet from Emily. Update. Rewipes are complete. Now testing. If all looks perfect, less than an hour. If not perfect, longer.
Awesome. Make it perfect. Definitely make it perfect. Carrying on. There are also daily goals, which will be available each day if you want ideas on something to do or wish to earn some extra lumens. Find these in your journal in the daily section. Let us know what you think. We're looking forward to your feedback. So definitely, like I said, screenshot, MS Paint, cut out the areas, and use your text tool. Easy as that. Doesn't have to be fancy if it gets the point across. All right. Now, all right, here we go. You now have a
I know why he doesn't like that word. He can't say it.
I can't say it. You now have a luminary score indicated how many goals you've achieved. Now,
Let it go.
there's luminary, luminaries, lumens, and lumeria. There's too much lume up in this thing, okay? Yeah, okay, moving on. Now, the old sci-fi smelter, it was a sci-fi smelter or whatever it was? That's our new crafting station. Yeah, the replicator. Okay, that works. What are your takes on them using that instead of something else? Go.
Geo, yes.
So, I think they should have one item of each theme that has the crafting menu ability. So, or be able to change the skin on this thing.
How about taking every one of our crafting props that we had before? If you're only going to have one crafting station, be able to make any of those, and any of those have the same menu system in it.
Yep.
And that way,
is right. That's the answer right there, dude.
That way it could fit into whatever you're building and not stick out like a sore thumb.
Exactly.
That is the answer. And just give every single one of those crafting stations, no matter what they are, the same menu.
Exactly.
Brilliant. That should be easy to do. Oh my gosh. Domino, Terry, Holly. Yeah. Wow. There's the answer.
All right. Crafting is now done at the replicator, which can be found at each portal spire or placed on your site. Why don't we call them spires anymore? I've always called it a hub.
They've been spires forever. It's nothing new.
No, you called it a spire. I always called it a hub.
But it's still nothing new.
I'll meet you at the hub. Okay, moving on.
Yeah.
There is also a lumen station at each portal spire, and which can also be accessed from anywhere in the world by clicking on the lumens icon in your UI. The lumen station offers many useful items, including resource bundles, recipes for props, outfits, and more. For example, if you want a particular prop but haven't found the recipe for it yet, you could choose to use the lumen station to convert some of the lumens into that recipe immediately. The lumen station also sells many things that were previously available in the marketplace. If you had made marketplace purchases previous to the wipe, your first created new character will be granted more than enough lumens to reacquire the same items or others if you prefer from the lumen station. Now, the one thing I noticed about when it was up, I clicked it, I hit create, and I was expecting to get the item in my inventory. I went into my inventory. It was not there. I went back to the lumen station, and that it was gone. So I'm sitting there going like, shouldn't I have gotten a prompt or, hey, you've learned something new, or something that popped up into my face that explained what just happened? Nothing happened. And that was when I tweeted out to Emily, hey, it disappears, and I think there should be some kind of a prompt that basically states you have just learned something new, which would direct me, hey, maybe I should go somewhere else to find the actual pattern. And it would make more sense to me. But, hey. All right, carrying on. All right. Okay, you may notice some things you can craft on the replicator can also be obtained from the lumen station. The choice is yours whether you wish to use resources to make the item on the replicator or use lumens to make them at the lumen station. Make them at the replicator, because if you use it at the lumen station, it requires lumen that you have to make it. Save those lumens for stuff that you really want.
Yep.
All right, carrying on. In the case of some items that you are purchasing at the lumen station is the recipe, not the item itself. And this goes on to what I was talking about before, but it should have said, hey, you just learned this, dumb butt, and to let me know. But it didn't do that. It just vanished. So the item on the lumen station should be clearly marked recipe in these cases, but let us know. The one thing I didn't like about that, it didn't tell me where I needed to go to find the thing. There is no clothing section anywhere.
I know we had asked for that.
Yeah, there's no clothing section that holds like all the stuff that you can make and wear.
And once we've made it, it'd be nice to have just like a special prop place for it to be, so we don't have to keep making it.
I think what they want to make. They want to make UI stuff a lot more intuitive for new players that have never played the game. Have all the clothing stuff under one icon or something.
All right, I'm going to burn through some stuff here as quick as I can, because there is still a lot up here.
So let me cover the inventory stuff.
Go for it.
If you don't mind. So pre-update, the inventory minimum size was 40, the max was 100. They say that's unchanged. Now, if you had purchased or any inventory stuff you had purchased, you will no longer get the inventory expanders. Like if you bought the Trailblazer pack and you got the mega thing for your inventory and for your vault, you won't be getting those items back. But your inventory should be increased by the amount that thing provides. So double check, make sure you count that, because if there's a problem,
you have to go to the lumen station to unlock it. It uses your lumen. Basically whatever you purchased before, they gave you back in lumens. So to be able to get the same thing back, you got to get to the lumen station and actually spend lumens to get it back.
But with the Trailblazer pack, you got the void, you got the vault expander, the mega whatever it's called. So those you will not receive those again. Your inventory has already been increased by the amount that thing increases. But double check when you get in. The vault size, previous max was 100. Now the new max is 120. The minimum's not changed. The collection size. This is when you're harvesting materials and goes into your material storage. The previous max was 900,000. The new is Tenma.
24 million.
Yeah.
Huge. you would choose.
Yeah, thank God.
Actually, the template storage space is 60 million, I believe.
He's talking about the collection size.
Well, the
Oh,
collection size
oh
24,
yeah, yeah,
but no.
yeah.
So the previous max on template storage was 24 million that you could purchase expansions up to. If you didn't do it in the very beginning, when it first came out, you could go to some huge number like 64 million, I think.
Yeah.
And so if you did that, they're not nerfing it, but consider yourself fortunate because that is not available now.
But going up to that
But
24
these-
million is good.
Yeah, and the new max is 48 million on your template storage. It's funny here they're calling it template storage. They should have called it building design storage.
Yeah.
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 Question.
Yeah.
Since we're talking about the template storage and all that, I had purchased up to 24 million.
Mm-hmm.
Will I come back in with that added in, or did they give me
No.
lumens to repurchase?
You have lumens that you will have to go to the lumen station to transfer your lumens for your storage space again.
Well, no, I don't know about that.
Yes, I
They
had to
said
do
that's
it.
something that would never ever change. If you expanded your inventory, it's supposed to stay.
Yeah. The inventory and the max number of claims, primary claims. Because I got in, my max was set to 8. I only had one setup, but my max was 8.
Yeah, you have to use your lumens because they paid you back for everything that you purchased in lumens. So you have to take the lumens and then get all your stuff back. So if you want your inventory size, your vault size, your storage, whatever, to get any of that or template storage, if you want any of that stuff back.
So the cool thing,
Tenma
everybody,
just posted something there. Can you please
Okay.
paste that?
I am.
cool thing is you can go out and earn lumens. You can go out and get them from adventuring and stuff. So that's a big bonus. 50 claims. I mean, 50 chests per claim now. So the claim is huge, right? It's the size of what used to be like between 9 and 18.
John, will you give Pentapod rights to link, please?
I did.
Okay.
The 50 chests now. This is cool because people like Lady Kathleen who do the museums and the big swaps can now do a whole wall of chests with descriptors on them. Mm-hmm. And I hear that they're coming out with a text prop. They don't have this ready yet, but it is in production. That'll be even better because then you put a text prop right over a chest and people can. Yeah, I can't wait. This is good stuff. So
now, but that was from what. Like I said, having to buy all that stuff back, that was from our experience from being able to get into the game for 1 hour. Okay, the game is back down. They are fixing stuff, but we'll see how that kind of unfolds here.
Okay, the second link, I'm sorry to interrupt you, that Emily gave me, that's the stuff that they've just fixed.
Oh, cool.
Oh, excellent.
Scroll down where you are.
Right.
It'll say Wednesday issues at the bottom of the bug list or the known issues
All right,
list.
we'll cover that when we get through this because I want to knock this out.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
You want me to speed through the combat stuff?
Yeah, just fly through it.
Yes,
All right.
please.
So equipment and combat. This is really cool. They've added campfires, which they've got in lots of their other games. Campfires will heal you to full if you're not in combat, and you start with several campfires in your inventory. So this is a huge bonus. Weapon, armor, and accessories have a damage type indicated by the color symbol on the tooltip. So equipping a weapon and armor of the same type give a bonus in combat. So different damage types indicate different styles of combat. This is cool stuff here. We've got a lot of stuff, but there's fire, water, lightning, earth, affliction, radiance, and shadow, like we had before. They've got terms for each of these. The special effects, there's the third effect on these can be anything from freezing people in their tracks, stopping their movement, to slowing their movement, to putting a damage over time on them. Neat stuff. And of course, there's no PvP, but you'll be using this when you're going onto people's claims and doing the adventures they programmed, or whether you're down in the caves doing your stuff. So there are armor and weapons for all of these different types. All right, creatures and build sites.
All right.
Cat?
She's
I'm
busy.
sorry.
She's busy. I'll carry on.
Okay.
Creatures are now available in your prop list, which I honestly I love this because it is the kind of the Kickstarter for bringing the world to life. It's just I really would love to see it in the rest of the world. You know, critters, cats, dogs, bunnies, goats. You know,
Keep
that sort of
going.
thing. I love to see the rest of the world be brought to life. When I'm out there exploring, I want to feel like I'm in another world. You know, I want to experience this stuff. I want to feel like, you know, that I'm actually someplace else.
Oh, you know, Cold Knight just
So-
asked the question that is on my mind too. You want to read that question Cold Knight just put in there? The Pinnapod?
Go
Are
ahead.
the new monsters also in Chaos Caves or only craftable and placed on the claims? The way it looks right now, I don't know because I never got down there to look.
When I saw them during the live show running around, I didn't see any of the new stuff down there, just the
Yeah.
typical.
Yeah, it looked
So I
like
think it's
it was
just for
probably the same
claims.
thing. It's probably
Yeah, I
the
think
same
it's just
thing.
for claims.
All right. Creatures require monster essence to place. This obtained by normal activities in Landmark, including killing other monsters, harvesting, and exploring Chaos Caverns. Creatures can be set to ally, neutral, or enemy faction. Claims with creatures on them can be set to play mode, meaning the creatures will come to life and enemy creatures will attack players and may drop rewards. Ally creatures will assist players against enemies, and neutral creatures will simply watch and laugh at you. Can be used to add flavor to your build site. You will start with a set of basic creatures and will unlock more as you fight, complete goals, or use lumens at the lumen shot. A new set of script item props is also available in your props list. It's not working right now. They're still working on it. So we're going to skip that. And pathing nodes, which tell your creature where to walk or to path, you know, that sort of thing, which is a great boon to linkering and triggering. Creatures can also be use the linkering triggering system to trigger events on their death at spawn. Right-click a creature to access more options, such as creature name and respawn rate.
Cool.
Though from what I saw when I was in the game, we have a lot of creatures down in that listing that you can put down, and they look
Nice.
pretty good. You know,
Cool.
so I can't wait to start playing with that after we get the guild back together.
Mm-hmm.
You know, then I can start playing with stuff again. All right. Other changes. Previous types of crafting stations that are no longer used are now available as decorative props for your claim. Like I said before, make every single one of them like the replicator. That way we can put it down and have it look on our claim the way we want it to look. If we want it to make it look like a blacksmith shop, it could be a blacksmith shop.
I think
By
that is
building
a,
Medieval Castle, I don't want a futuristic replicator in there.
Exactly.
and you know what? Since it's just one feature, the feature from the replicator, it should be. I would think it would be easy.
It's just
to
a
add.
skin on it. It shouldn't. Hopefully, it shouldn't be that much.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
think that would be awesome though. That would just wow. That
We
would
have
solve-
removed PvP game tables, and PvP is no longer available. Wait a minute.
It's gone.
It's gone. PvP's gone.
Let it go. It's gone. Bye bye.
Okay. We have removed We have removed sifters. I was about to say shitters. I'm telling you.
You did.
All right. You should notice improvements to the.
Real quick. Terry said the PvP has been removed for now, and if they can get it the way they want it, and we can justify its return, it'll happen. But it's for the time being, it's gone.
Okay. You should notice improvements to the chat windows. Direct tell messages sent to you will now appear in their own separate tab, so they're easier to see. Now, I have noticed with this, you may take your chat window and you might need to elongate it just a little bit because it only leaves room for one message from somebody. And then you have to pull it out to see if there's anybody else that has messaged you. We don't have an all channel the way it looked. it said chat, general, guild, officers, and then after that it pretty much gets to the very end there. But there's nothing that showed all chat text that was coming up.
Well, chat used to show all, I believe.
Used to.
So
yeah.
Do we know if it still
anymore.
does? Oh, really? Sure.
It didn't for me.
Okay.
Because
general chat wasn't working. General chat wasn't working.
The only thing I saw in regular chat was stuff that was getting unlocked, and hey, you just learned this. But when somebody was talking in guild, I didn't see it on that tab, so I had to keep flipping back and forth through all my chat tabs to be able to see what was being said between open chat, what I was unlocking, and the guild. So I had to keep flipping through my chats to be able to keep up with things. And then, of course, general chat wasn't working today. And I think that was something on server end. But, okay. Where the hell was I? Okay. You should notice improvements to the chat windows. Direct helm. Okay, I already said that. Head and hand slot equipment is no longer available. I think that's a regression.
But that's because those slots were used for PvP armor, used for armor,
but it was still something we could wear or not wear.
Yeah, I want helmets. I want.
Yeah, me too. I think economically.
Although they never showed.
I think
it doesn't matter. I wanted
helmets, them. Yeah, helmets could be big. Could be really big for the game. That they either people purchase them with lumens or with Daybreak Cash or some of each.
I want a beanie. And I want a sombrero.
And I want a pirate hat.
And a pirate hat. A tricorn pirate hat. Just like that.
Here it comes.
Oh, Lord. That's horrid, Gio. That's horrid.
Oh, my God.
That's horrid. All right. Props and materials named for workshop themes now have new names. The Foundation Museum Islands are no longer accessible. Dark Elf, Karen, Ogre, Lost Combine, and Takas Workshop winners should log in to find a new game title. I'm still disappointed about the Foundation Museum disappearing there. I like the fact that they were there.
But they have no purpose, I guess, since there's no next.
But it still doesn't matter. It was a competition that we did in Landmark. I can't give a rat's butt cheek about EQ Next.
Yeah, but like they're saying, for the new people coming in, it's not going to mean a darn thing, and they have to work it for that, not us.
I'm going to sail me ship to the harbor in front of...
You just rename it. You don't name it Foundation. You don't name it Foundation Museum. You do a competition museum.
Yeah.
And you leave it at that. Because there is a lot of stuff to learn from
and new players
on those builds.
They need to see those things. That would be fabulous.
But also, a lot of that stuff won't fit in the new parameters of the claim sizes.
Well, yeah, that would have changed. But still, I mean, the simple fact of the amount of work and the amount of time and effort that the players put into those things, they are landmarks. They are landmarks.
There's going to be a mutiny if they don't come back.
Jesper, Geo is off his meds.
He is. He needs to be get back on that stuff. I'm telling you. All right.
Drink another beer, Geo. You'll be all set.
Okay, Dark Elf, Karen, Ogre, Halas combined Takas Workshop winners should now find that they have a new in-game title. I did notice a duplication of a particular title when in the listing. So if Emily is watching right now, there is a duplication of two titles that should be another title. One of them should be something else. If anybody remembers what that was, please feel free to post it. I don't remember the exact one off the top of my head. The designs management window now has a column that clearly indicates if a design is counted against your voxel storage or not. Line tool cursor is always a minimum of 2x2 blocks in size, since 1x1 does not work.
Okay, No,
Some
I'm
things can
certain.
only be smoothed by a 1x1.
Yeah, I'm sure they've heard this from their Landmark Live show, but the the one by one line tool is really needed for lots of detailed smoothing work or cleaning up work that you can't do with the 2x2. You have to have a 1x1 for some of the detailed stuff.
Yep.
And Tenma knows more than I do.
Yeah,
Correct, horrible.
there was issues with trying to make doing a single one voxel to a single one voxel. You couldn't do it.
Yeah, but to clean stuff, to clean the voxels, sometimes you need a 1x1 so that you're not making any changes to the voxels next to them. So there are many cases where you need the ability to do that 1x1. So I hope they can. I
don't think it'll ever be created. I don't think. I just don't.
You can't make a good line with that, but that's fine. But people need to use
that.
But
the way I always looked at it was like, if I can't make a 1x1, I shouldn't be able to scroll down to that size.
But it's used for more than just making lines. Is my point.
Yeah.
It's used for cleaning, and when you're using it to clean stuff, you need that 1x1.
Okay.
And it was a good filler as a 1x1 to go from one side to the other.
Yeah.
Use that a lot.
All right. There is a crap ton of known issues, and I'm just going to forego going over that.
Yeah.
If anybody wants to read over that, you can. And then we have Wednesday issues.
Well, make sure you read these known issues before you post in the issue tracker, the dgcissuetracker.com, because it'll save time and trouble for everybody.
Do we still have that link?
From Emily. Ooh, yeah.
I missed it. I got to go back.
For what? The Wednesday issues?
The one
it's right below what you're reading. Just scroll below the known issues.
The one that she linked?
Yes.
Okay, well.
She added it to her post right here.
Well. All right. I'll let you read this. I'll let y'all read this. Go. Handle it.
Wednesday issues. We brought the servers down again this morning when we discovered some additional issues. We're fixing what we can and putting in logging for the ones we need more data to track down. Once the servers come up, these new issues that weren't in the list above are known. Some characters were not being auto-granted newbie claims, and there was no claim flag recipe on the replicator. We haven't been able to track down the cause of this, as it seems to be related to the volume of logins. We've added extra information logging to figure out what's happening. In the meantime, if you log in and don't get an auto-granted claim, you can now craft a claim flag at the replicator and go stake a claim on a classic landscape island. You could alternately wait and not create a character until we confirm this issue is fixed, but until we have pinpointed the cause, we don't have an ETA. If you're looking for your Trailblazer, Vault, or flags, these can be found in the props menu. You've actually been granted recipes for these, so you can place as many of the props as you like. Some characters who had purchased items from the marketplace were not receiving all the claims they should have. This should be resolved. You'll get them all when you log in. Please log out and in again first just to ensure you've received all the items. Guild information was not being saved, which may have had a number of odd side effects in relating to guild behavior, such as the guild leader would lose the ability to promote people if they zoned until they logged out and in again. We believe this is fixed, but any guilds created in the brief time we were up will need to be recreated once we're up again. We'll be watching for issues. General chat channel wasn't working for some people. We haven't yet tracked down the cause of this one, but are continuing to investigate, and we'll gather more information once the servers are up again. As far as we're aware, all other types of chat are working. We'll get general working as soon as we're able. Some characters had previously purchased inventory expanders of some type and didn't get them back after the wipe. This is actually not a bug. It's just not clearly messaged, for which we apologize. You did get the additional slots back. They were just already added to your inventory size of being inventory items you have to click like previously. Instead of, okay.
That's what we talked about earlier.
Added, nothing you have to click.
All right, so...
And they've already added other issues to the DGC issue tracker.
But there's a bunch of bugs in there. If you guys want to go through them when you can, definitely jump on it, take a look. And let's see here. I'll post the link, I think, to Lurker was trying to earlier, but there he goes. That's the link for it. Feel free to go and check it out. And but for the most part, I'm halfway happy with the update.
So they're still doing the character wipe. Are they still doing the character wipe for this? They're doing a rewipe right now?
Yes,
Yeah.
they've already done the rewipe. They're testing now.
Okay.
Again.
Yep.
All right.
So when the servers come back up, we don't know. Still don't have any new news on that. But cross our fingers that it'll be up before 12 o'clock p.m. Eastern. And but like I said, for the most part, the amount of stuff that they have in the patch is pretty cool. But I really wish that it had been given to us a little bit over time. Mm-hmm. You know, a big bulk like this, you know, it comes up with a lot of bugs.
A lot of the design work that we saw was made without player interaction. It may have been player input from some time in the past, but I don't know, the process wasn't quite what we would have liked. But we understand, and we're glad to get our hands on it now. And make sure everybody, like we talked about earlier, when you give feedback, do what Tenma does and do a design document. Man, get that screenshot, get into Paint, organize it the way to illustrate your recommendation for how something in the UI should change.
UI it needs another overhaul, because that build mode with that big old hoopty bar at the bottom, that ain't gonna fly for building.
Even if they don't give us any kind of modability of it, just let us resize it.
Yeah.
That way we can shrink it down to whatever.
Now, like I said, I didn't get to fully get in there and play with it, but you know, maybe there's a button I didn't see that allowed it to shrink down or something. But still, the thing was huge. Mm-hmm. And I didn't get to play with it long enough to actually test to see if it was, you know, where you could play with the transparency. You know, that would have helped a hell of a lot. Just being able to transparent half of that crap.
Heck yeah.
You know,
the resizing is usually a simple unlock.
Yeah.
Without having to do anything to it.
So the UI is definitely going to need another overhaul. It had more stuff to actually explain what the hell's going on. Like, you know, I went to the Lumen Station. I clicked on Lumen Station. I clicked one thing. I hit Create, and I'm sitting there going like, okay, where is it? So I look in my inventory. It's not there. I didn't know where the hell to go, because there was nothing that prompted me to say, hey, you have just learned this. Go into this area, and you'll find it there. You know, it's something simple to guide the player into the right direction. You know, some people, you know, I don't have the best memory. You know, I forget things, you know, that sort of thing. Those prompts kind of help some people, and make it to where you can turn them on and off. That way you can have like a little check box. Do you want to have this to show up again? You know, you can check it and get rid of it if you want to. That's for those that don't want to see that crap. You know, but there are some people like me, and yet I want to see it. Let's see, LOD still needs to be fixed. That melted crayon has got to be fixed. Before you push this thing to freaking open, like they're wanting to do for spring, it's got to be fixed. It cannot stay the way it is. You're not going to keep people. You're going to have an immersive environment. It is not there. You need critters. You need stuff to bring this world to life. You know, have things that people can check out while they're walking from A to B. Gio, have you got anything you could put in there that needs to be done before this thing goes live?
Well, the UI is the big one. I would hope that the occlusion stuff could be included, but I've got no idea what the complexities of getting that into the system are. But I need to get in the game and just spend some time tooling around. But the UI is number one, and we know, I just back on what you said, that we need wildlife on the surface. Just it needs to be just a little more compelling. But I'm excited to get my hands on the tool and on the game and break the hell out of it.
I'm ready to make a skeleton army.
I can't wait. The
And-
crazy crap that we're going to see made by people like Shatari and everybody else out there who builds just zany, wacky, amazing stuff. Adding these monsters, wow! I just can't wait to.
I can't wait to see what Spider Ass is going to do.
I am going to have a complete skeleton army, and I'm going to march it all over my claim. I mean, there's going to be like, oh, you know, it's going to be
Well,
like, yeah.
imagine when they give us the ability to add to have the NPCs, you know, talk to us with with text, of course. They're not actually going to have voices, but I can't wait.
I'm hoping they have flying monkeys in there, because I will recreate Wizard of Oz.
Well, look, big shout out to the Daybreak team. Thank you for staying up and putting in all the hours that it's taken to get this update out, and we're appreciative. Everybody be respectful when you're on the forums posting. They're sweating.
Be helpful, not derogatory.
They're sweating like crazy, working hard, and we want more of what's coming our way here. This is awesome stuff.
Now, granted, this has been an extended episode of Let's Talk Landmark because of the amount of stuff that was in here. We really wanted to, instead of going over the patch notes, we actually wanted to get in there and like give you like direct feedback on what it is that we found in the game. But without more time in there, we really couldn't do that. Mainly because Geo, he runs, Landmark Explorers Guild. We run Colossus, so we were kind of tied up for the most part getting our stuff back together, which got wiped again. But
it's closed beta.
Next show, be prepared. We're going to, me personally, I'm going to burn assholes. That's my job. And Gio's going to slap me around and tell me I'm stupid and all that kind of good stuff. So
that's my job.
That's his job.
My ass off.
And Katinna is just going to slap both of us and tell us to shut that F up. Yeah, that.
Yeah.
So, but.
Well, it's your channel, it's not his.
Yeah, it is my channel, right? I'm trying to keeping it down. Keep it on low down. But,
so, Fit Orion, the next show is next Wednesday.
Yes, next show is going to be Wednesday. Definitely stay tuned. If you have any comments, complaints, or any of that kind of stuff about the way the game's headed, that's what the forums are for, guys. Make use of it, but keep it clean.
Yeah, keep it good. Keep it positive, constructive.
And constructive, probably more than anything. You tell them what's wrong and tell them how to fix it.
Like they say, they're asking for how did it happen? Were there steps that you did to make it happen? Give them as much detail as you can.
That's GGC issue tracker. That's what that's for. But I'm talking
no, just even in the other stuff that they're all saying, just give us as much info as you can.
Yes.
And the nicer you are, the more they're actually going to pay attention.
Yep. So we're going to be back on track for the most part on bringing you the latest news on Landmark now that we actually have news.
Yay.
And I'll be back playing and all that kind of stuff. And I have been playing. It's just I didn't know I was there. So, but with that, guys, we'll see you guys next week. It's been a pleasure, and thank you everybody for coming to the show. Definitely, if you want inside of Landmark Explorers or you want inside of Colossus, contact us as soon as the servers come back up.
Yep.
Or tomorrow.
And just
for Gio, it'll be tomorrow.
Yeah. And, just send me a direct tell either on here on Twitch, on Twitter, or in the game, or an email. And my new character's name is Gio.
And of course,
it's a little bit less to type.
But as for Colossus, you can contact Tenma, Katinna, Karain, Aowen, Ashlyn, Knobwinkle.
Yep.
You contact any of those people, and they can get you in. With that, guys, have a good one, and we'll see you guys next week.
Night,
Be good, everybody.